Hey, hello. I created this video so that you guys could have um, the basic information in which I created the workshop in the first place. So, for those of you guys who do not know me, my name is Yamika Webb, and I am a life coach. I am a transformational life coach. I am an impactful life coach, and I am a human rights consultant. So with that being said, I just had an event on Saturday, and the purpose for the events that I will have in the near future is basically to break the mindset of a slave. And some of us are enslaved and don't even realize it. We don't even recognize it. So I just wanted to touch on the Willie Lynch letter, The Making of a Slave. I kind of went through this. So a little bit about the letter. The infamous Willie Lynch letter gives both African and Caucasian students and teachers some insight concerning the brutal and inhumane psychology behind the African slave trade, the materialistic viewpoint of Southern plantation owners that slavery was a business and the victims of chattel slavery were merely pawns in an economic game of debauchery, crossbreeding, interracial rape, and mental conditioning of a Negroid race they considered subhuman. Okay. And I'm not going to, it's a lot of introduction. So I'm going to go all the way down to this was in, I guess, 1712. Um, so this is what Willie Lynch has said to the people that called on him for his expertise. As our boat sailed south of the James River, named for our illustrations king, whose version of the Bible we cherish, I wonder who that is. I saw enough to know your problem is not unique. While Rome used cords of wood as crosses for standing human bodies along its old highways, its great numbers, you are here using the tree and rope on occasion. I caught a whiff of dead slave hanging from a tree a couple of miles back. You are not only losing valuable stocks by hangings, you are having uprisings, slaves are running away, and your crops are sometimes left in the fields too long for the maximum profit. You suffer occasional fires. Your animals are killed. Gentlemen, you know what problems are. I do not need to elaborate. I am not here to enumerate your problems. However, I'm here to introduce you to a method of solving them. In my bag here, I have a full proof of method for controlling your Black slaves. I guarantee every one of you that is, I guarantee every one of you that if it is installed correctly, it will control the slaves for at least 300 years. Past 300 years, I'm sure. My method is simple. Any member of your family or your overseer can use it. I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves, and I take these differences and make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. These methods work on my modest plantation in the West Indies, and it will work throughout the South. Take this simple list of differences and think about them. And so let's go scroll down, okay? So on the top of my list is age, but it is there only because it starts with their name. The second is color or shade. There is an intelligence, size, sex, plantations, status of one plantation, attitude of owners, Whether the slaves live in the valley or on the hill, east, west, north, south, have fine hair, coarse hair, or is tall or short, now that you have my list of differences, I shall give you an outline of action. But before that, I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust, and envy is stronger than adulation, respect, or admiration. The Black slave, after receiving this indoctrination, shall carry on and will become self-refueling and self-generation for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. Okay, so clearly he believed that this was going to be a solution to a problem for thousands of years if it was installed properly. Okay, so we're going to move on. Don't forget, you must pitch the old black male versus the young black male, and the young black male against the old black male. You must see the dark-skinned slaves versus the light-skinned slaves, and the light-skinned slaves versus the dark-skinned slave. You must use the female versus the male, and the male versus the female. You must also have your white servants and overseers distrust all blacks, but it is necessary your slaves trust and depend on us. That they must love, respect, and trust only us. Gentlemen, these kits are the keys to control. Use them. Have your wives and the children use them. Never miss an opportunity. If used intensively for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain perpetually distrustful. Thank you, gentlemen. Okay. So this speech was delivered by a white slave owner, Willie Lynch, on the banks of James River in 1712. Currently, I am living in Virginia. I'm not on James River, but I am in Virginia where it all went down. I'm a New Yorker, so yeah, that's big. I'm glad I'm here. By the Black Arcade Liberation Library, 1970, it was in the interest and business of slaveholders to study human nature, and the slave nature in particular, with a view to practical results. And many of them attained astonishing proficiently in the direction. They had to deal not with earth, wood, and stone, but with men. And they, by every regard they had known for their safety and prosperity, they had need to know the material on which they were to work. Conscious of injustice and wrong, they were every hour perpetrating and knowing what they themselves would do. Were they victims? I'm sorry, this is Frederick Douglass. And so I guess the wording, might have been a little off, so don't worry about me saying it with the accuracy. I guess this is Frederick Douglass's way of talk back then. Very, very smart man. So conscious of the injustice and wrong, they were every hour perpetrating and knowing that they themselves were they victims of such wrongs. They were constantly looking for the first signs of dread retribution. They watched, therefore, with skilled and practiced eyes, and learned to read with great accuracy the state of mind and heart of the slave through his sable face, unusual sobriety, apparent abstraction, sullenness, and indifference. Indeed, any mood out of the common way afforded ground for suspicion and inquiry. Okay, and so these are the pictures. Um, I'm doing this specifically because I really do want you guys to um, I want to provoke your thoughts, and I want you to go into the deep and understand the deep conditioning of the mind. And yes, someone is plotting and planning always. And a lot of them they don't even have to really plot because things are already designed. The design is already installed. Okay. And it worked and it's working and it continues to work. And I'm not going to stay too long on this. So, Let's Make a Slave is a study of the scientific process of a man breaking in slave making. It describes the rationale and results of Anglos, Saxons' idea and methods of ensuring the master/slave relationship. The origin and development of social being called the Negro. Let us make a slave a slave. What do I do? First of all, we need a Black nigger man, a pregnant nigger woman, and her baby nigger boy. Second, I will use the same basic principle that we use in the breaking of a horse, combined with some more sustaining factors. Okay, and I need you guys to listen to this one. When we do it with horse, we break them one form of life to another. That is, we reduce them from their natural state in nature, whereas nature provides them with the natural capacity to take of their needs and the needs of their offspring. We break the natural string of independence from them and thereby create a dependency state so that we may be able to get from them useful production for our business and pleasure. It wasn't even just business, it was also pleasure, guys. You were somebody else's pleasure. So the cardinal principles of making a Negro, for fear that our future generations may not understand the principles of breaking both horse and man, we lay down the art. If we are to sustain our basic economy, we must break and tie both the beast together, the nigger and the horse. We understand that short range planning and economics results in periodic chaos, so that to avoid turmoil in the economy, it requires us to have breadth and depth in long range comprehensive planning, articulation, both skills and sharp perception. We lay down the following principles for long range comprehensive economic planning. Both horse and nigger are no good to the economy in the wild or natural state. Both must be broken and tied together for orderly production. For the orderly futures, special and particular attention must be paid to the female and the young offspring. Both must be crossbred to produce a variety of division of labor. Both must be taught to respond to a particular new language. Psychological and physical instruction to containment must be created for both. We hold above six cardinal principles as truths to be self-evident based on the following discourse concerning the economics of breaking and tying the horse and the nigger together, all inclusive of the six principles laid down above. Neither principle alone will suffice for good economics. All principles must be employed by the orderly good of the nation. Accordingly, both the wild horse and the wild in the wild or natural nigger and is dangerous, even if captured, if they will have a tendency to seek their customary freedom, and in doing so, might kill you in your sleep. You cannot rest. Okay, guys, I'm gonna pause. And I want to kind of come out of this. Okay, so we're gonna come out of here. And we're gonna go, because I can't make this video too long. We'll have a to be continue. So we're gonna go and talk about my visions and my mission. So my mission statement, our mission is to empower individuals to discover and fulfill their God-given purpose by transforming their passions into profitable ventures. Our vision statement, we envision a supportive community where individuals thrive in their God-given purpose, creating a positive impact on the world. Our goal is to reach and empower inner world changers within marginalized communities, igniting positive change and transformation. Our values, at the core of our organization, we believe in changing one group at a time, fostering a ripple effect of a positive transformation. And I'm not going to go into the introduction and all that because you guys were not there, but this is me. I'm going to introduce myself. So I am Yamika Webb. I am a New York native. I'm a mother of 3 and a published author. I am Taking My Life Back, and I am not who you say I am. I am a transformational, impactful life coach and the founder of the Billionaires Club. My mission is to empower world changers, dreamers, and goal-getters to transform their lives into the best version of themselves. The objective is to provide transformative coaching services that empower individuals to achieve personal growth and to create the life they want to live. Also, to equip participants with the practical tools and strategies for personal transformation, enabling them to overcome obstacles, cultivate self-awareness, and make positive changes in their lives. So I'm gonna go and let's go and find an inspirational video, because that's what we were supposed to do. But remember, we got caught up. So you guys, hold on a second. Because I had some, wait, actually, I put those, I think I put them on here. Okay. Okay, let's go. I got some inspirational videos. Let's click on that. And let's see. Well, hopefully you'll be able to see this. And come on, guys. Hopefully you can see this.
You have.
So these videos are.
Is a metabolism killer. Is a metabolism killer. And even this is a metabolism killer.
I can't get
that reality is most people.
But hold on tight. Hold on tight. Let's focus on.
You have control of this. This belongs to you. This is yours. You're the captain. You're the master. You're the foreman. You're the general. You're the head. Don't give control of this to nobody, especially the devil. Do not let Satan come in here and function and operate, because he has one mission: to keep you off course, to make you not think it's possible, to make you think that God don't hear you. His job is only to destroy you, to make sure that you don't become what God intended for you to become. That's the mission of the devil. Now, if you don't believe in the devil, this conversation ain't for you. If you don't believe in God, this conversation ain't for you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to people who are spiritually based. If you get control of this, that's why I'm telling you these two books. Look, the best book you can read is the Bible. If you read the book of Proverbs over and over and over, it's the book of wisdom and understanding. It would really help your life if you just read it. I'm going to be honest with you. That's the only book in the Bible I've read cover to cover. I've only read the book of Proverbs. I've read some scriptures every now and then. I only know 5 or 6 scriptures by heart. I'm just going to be real with you. But I've memorized them 5 or 6 scriptures, and them 5 or 6 got me here today. I know a lot of people that know the Bible inside out ain't got nothing to show for it. You know why? Because they memorized it, but they didn't apply it. I have applied 6 scriptures to change my life. But these books that I told you about, The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale and The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz, you know what it does? It just teaches you how this works. Once you get this, y'all, you can change everything. Do you understand? Negativity, let me just give you this and I'm gonna walk away. Negativity, you can protect yourself from negativity. And that's what stops most people, negative thoughts. You can coat your mind from negativity. It's a real simple exercise to do. I do it every morning before I walk out the door. So I walk out as a positive person. You know, I get tired sometimes. That's different from being negative because I get mentally drained from my job at times. But to coat your mind from negativity, the way you can put a coating around your mind is with one simple thing: gratitude. Gratitude erases negativity. I'm gonna show you how this works. If you wake up in the morning, you start having negative thoughts. Man, this ain't my day. I woke up on the wrong side of bed. I'm tripping. I just don't feel myself. Every time you feel in the middle of the day, if you feel yourself doing that, stop. Just stop for a second and start going over in your mind everything you have to be grateful for. Not everything you want, everything you already have, because what you have is substantial. You just haven't gone over the list and taken inventory in a long time. But the fact that you can walk, that's a blessing. The fact that you woke up, that's another blessing. The fact that you can see, think, reason, that's another blessing. The fact.
Okay, guys, I am going to pause that because I don't want to bombard you with that one video. I want to kind of give you, because I had some favorites on here. So let's go. We're going to keep it moving.
Just 10 years ago, Jesus was the best kept secret in the Jewish community.
If I went through this and I made it to a higher level, even though I feel like there's higher for me to go, if I made it, you can too. What is your higher? What is your higher in your life? What is the next step in love and finances and family and friendships and whatever? What is that for you? Whatever that is for you, reach for that. Pray for that, strive for that, fast for that, ask God for that. Don't stop pushing until you get to that. That's what I want people walking away with, that kind of encouragement.
It's driving up on the property, my goodness, to see what God has done in your life and the doors he's opened. I don't know, maybe we start back, you didn't dream you would be here today. Maybe, give us a little bit of your background and how you grew up. And, somebody's listening today and saying, wow, great, you're at Tyler Perry's and you got all this stuff going on in your life, Joel, but I'm not there.
Yeah.
Maybe some inspiration because you didn't start. This is not where, if you looked at the statistics back then, you wouldn't be sitting in a studio and the most successful African-American filmmaker in history. Never dreamed, but you know what? God had something in you.
Right, yeah, for sure. People look at the now and they don't look at what I went through. And if you miss the through and look at the now, you tend to sometimes find yourself yourself in envy of it or jealous of it. But if you look at the struggle and the walk, and it was very, very difficult. I came from a home that was, my mother was 16 years old when she met my father. He lied to her and said that he was rich and he was going to take her away from the small town of Louisiana. They end up getting married and end up in New Orleans. And at 18, she's married, finds out he wasn't rich. He didn't have a ranch in Texas. He had nothing to offer her. And there she was, married to this man, broke, live in a nightclub trying to find somewhere for them to live. And at 18, she's pregnant with my sister. And then at 19 with my other sister. And I can tell she was trying to stop. Then around 24, I'm born into it. I'm born into this chaos and this hell between the two of them because they were just both very, very wounded people. And they were trying to raise a wounded child. My father had been abused since he was a kid. So he would beat my mother. He would beat me. He was just a man who was very, very violent and dark.
Hey guys,
And, but of his own issues. And looking at it from this point again, I'm looking at it from the now, where I am now, I understand it. And I was able to forgive it because I understand it. But coming through that and then growing up in New Orleans,